Where do I even start? This story is a mess. Basically, my mum lied to me and my family for the first 16 years of my life. Here's how and why it went down. My father, or rather not my father, was a doctor, a good one at that, and my mum was a teacher. My uncle on my father's side was close with the family. He was always coming over, bringing food, presents, and the like. My mum always acted slightly weird around him, like she was uncomfortable. There was nothing about him that would incite those feelings, but I guess my mum had her own reasons. Well, one day I had to get my blood tested at my annual checkup, which was no big deal. I didn't know what my blood type was before that, so I was excited. Now, both of my mum and dad were O+ blood types, which meant I should be O+ as well. When I got my blood test back, my blood was AB+. Back then, I didn't know that blood type is genetic, but my dad did. When my mum showed him my blood work, he was slightly confused. He told my mum I should have been O+ like them, but I wasn't. My father didn't know where the AB+ popped in, but my mum seemed skittish about the subject and would tiptoe around it. That raised suspicions in the family about whether I was my father's child or not. Of course, me, not knowing any better, denied everything and confidently stated that my father is my father and he will always be my father. Things got tense between my father and mum after that. My uncle was there through it though. If he was over and my mum and father got into an argument, he would distract me or take me outside or shopping. Well, one day the argument between them was a lot more intense than usual. I was trying to study for an upcoming test, but I couldn't concentrate with their screaming. So I went downstairs to see what the problem was. When I got into the kitchen, my father was holding papers in his hand. When I asked what was going on, my father just told me to ask my mum. He slammed the papers in his hand on the counter and walked out. When I took the papers, it was my uncle's blood work. It was all gibberish until I saw his blood type, AB+. When I asked my mum what that meant, she began to repeat that it was a one-time thing and that she didn't know. It then finally clicked that my mum slept with my uncle while with my father. I tried talking to my father, but he couldn't even look at me. I tried talking to my mum, but she wouldn't form a coherent sentence. It's been a few months and I haven't talked with my father since then. He filed for divorce from my mum and hasn't even spoken to his brother. My mum wants me to take a DNA test for absolute proof. Even if I did, the damage is too severe. My father is now estranged from the family. My mum is distraught. My uncle now looks at both of us differently. And my family as a whole is both confused and hurt. If there's something I can do to try and fix my family situation, I haven't thought about it. I can't lose my family, not now. Please, give me some advice. I need it. What do you think I should do? Write it down in the comments below. I seriously need help.